A lot of people are playing the game of life at a disadvantage, and the truth is, they don't even know it. The reason I say this is because one of the best things we can do as individuals is to find and play games where the odds are in our favor. And this is simply just saying, turning your attention, your resources, your money, your energy, and your time towards situations and places and career paths where you are at a natural advantage. Like you want to be a lion on land or in the jungle, or a shark in the sea. There's this quote or this saying that is usually attributed to Albert Einstein that basically says everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, the fish will basically spend most of its life feeling like it's stupid. That is wrong because the fish is judging itself based on a wrong metric. And I think it's the same thing a lot of people find themselves doing because they've never really taken the time to assess where their natural advantage lies. And I think it begs the question, why don't we ask? Why don't we find out? One of the easiest explanations that I can give is that it's just a downside, at least for some people, it's a downside of being born into survival mode, whether that is being born into the third world or a lower middle class or just being under constant financial pressure. The downside to being that survival mode is you never learn to thrive. All you do is just learn to get by. And when it comes to picking your career path or your vocation, you pick based on what feeds you and not what fits you. Like you pick based on what feeds you, what gets you fed, not what fits you, not what your system and your skills and your strengths align with. And sometimes this works. Like this works for some time. I mean, so far it's worked for a lot of people. But other times, I think at the end of the day, we just end up playing the game of life at a strong disadvantage. And the reason I think this conversation is important right now is because as AI and automation is continuing to accelerate, like a lot of jobs are being taken over by machine learning models and AI algorithms, it's more important, like because I think the future and the present and the coming seasons would basically favor people who are operating in their like natural habitat, their genius domains, because they are already playing games where the odds are already in their favor. So that being said, here are three ways I think you can find your genius domain, right? The first one, ask the people around you. What do people repeatedly compliment you on? Like what positive comments do you, what positive comment about you come up again and again and again? There's a saying that you can't see the whole picture if you're in the frames. And in this context, how that applies is what's effortless to you can seem ordinary, but to others, it's remarkable. And I think it's very important that when you find something that comes easy to you, but hard to others, like you, that is like a signal worth paying attention to. For some people, it might just be their natural or fluent use of words, being able to do wordplay, all of those things. Some people might just be fashion. Some people can just be cooking, right? What comments, what compliments do people repeatedly give you? Like those are like those you if you pay close attention, you see patterns that might potentially point you towards your strengths. The second method, the second way you can do this is even more methodical. It's basically taking a personality assessment, right? And when you take this personality assessment, you actually use them. Like one of my favorite personality assessment or personality test is by 16personalities.com. Like I absolutely love those guys. And what I like about it is that when you finish answering all of those questions, I think it's like 10 pages, and you can go through it in like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. By the time you start reading what they find about you, you'll be like, wow, these guys know me so well. Like they figured out all my inner thoughts, like thoughts that are on the lowest level. They're bringing them to the surface. And then if you can go the extra mile of maybe paying for the premium plan, that is about maybe I think it's about $5 to $10. They give you like a 40-page handbook that covers everything from your strength, like your natural inclinations, your relationship, potential career paths, all of those things. It can be like a manual basically for you that you can revisit over and over and over again, right? So basically accelerates your learning curve and finding your strengths. And then I think the last thing is to pay attention to what you are intuitively drawn to or things that you find yourself doing that make you lose track of time, right? So it's a mix, or things that come easily to you, but to other people it's work, like things that feel like play to you, but for other people it's work. Like so stuff like that. Like what activities pull you in when nobody is watching or when nobody's paying you, right? What can you do for a very long time? Productive thing can you do for a very long time? I don't think watching movies counts because it doesn't create any form of value. So what valuable thing do you think you end up doing for hours and then you lose track of time? For some people it's writing, for some people it's talking, right? Speaking for hours. For some people it's just having like this very strong charisma. You can enter a room and coordinate the attention of everybody in the room, right? For some people, it's just a very strong sense of fashion. You know how to match colors and styles together to make everything look all glamorous, right? Whatever it is that come easy to you. I don't don't trivialize it. Just like I said, because they are your strengths, they come easily to you. You have the very high chance of just trivializing it, or just make because they come effortless. You think it's everything everybody has it. That is not true. Those things are given to you, right? So the bottom line is your genius domain, your games, your genius domain is where efforts, where hard work feels like play, right? Where you outperform people without even forcing it. It's just like if you raise if a cheetah tries to raise a shark in the ocean, it would lose any day, any time, because even though the cheetah is fast on land, it is not running in its own domain. That is the shark's domain. A shark coming to the soil wouldn't even get a chance. It would basically just die out. So where you outperform people without forming it, like where the odds tilt in your favor, not because you're lucky, but because aligned, you've aligned with your skill set, your strength, right? So I think regardless of how much time it takes, regardless of the effort and the investment of time and resources it would take from you, whatever I do, whatever it takes, find that game where the odds are in your favor. And when you do, play it relentlessly.